Alright, I have finally finished my cut testing here on the TS261 here in S110V. And it fared quite a bit better than the 328 and M390. And you can see I can start slicing and it will kind of give up right around there. Yeah. And yeah, you can probably, or maybe not, I don't know about the angle so much, but yeah, I can certainly see where the edge has finally gotten chewed up. Here's the thing though, yes, this took a long while to do. That's because I came out to 2,490 freaking cuts with this stuff. It just would not stop. So, it's fantastic for this knife, but man, it was killer trying to get to a point where this is all, dull and everything for me to actually have some results. Next step is I have to actually try to resharpen this thing. And, that's probably going to be a little difficult, but we'll find out. But, yeah, those are the, excuse me, simple results that I got here from the 261. And, yeah, as I was saying, I do have just a little tiny bit to finish up with that guy, which is TwoSun. I don't remember exactly the model, 191 maybe, I don't know, but it's in 12C27, which they don't use much anymore, but there you go. And then because this one probably won't hold out much more than a few more cuts, I do believe next up is going to be the S110V Imperium in Nitro V, because I'm interested to see how this stuff actually works out. So yeah. I did get a new knife in the mail today, I suppose, since this video is a little short. This is the Jelly Jerry something or other. I really don't remember the number on this guy at all. But yeah, because it's a front flipper and that, you really do have to light switch it to get your finger out the way. Because otherwise, yeah, well, this one's actually not too bad. It doesn't fling way, way back. Yeah, very, very light. Even though the inside isn't skeletonized, the outside is, because that's where the carbon fiber inlays are. Carbon fiber inlays, at least this bottom one here and the one on the back, not exactly flush on both sides. It's not something that's bothersome or uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form, but yeah, just a little bit different. I don't know if it has to do with the amount of adhesive on the inside here, because they are at least adhesed in, so that could be part of the reason for those tolerances. I don't know. Really interesting blade design though. You get back flipper, front flipper, which is not the easiest I've done, but it's certainly there. And a little Spidey flick action. So yeah. If you had smaller thumbs than I did, you might be able to do a thumb roll, but that's always kind of difficult with frame locks for me anyway. So there you go. This one I really have been trying to get for a very long time through eBay. And yep, everybody just kept jumping this thing up to somewhere around 90 bucks or something like that. So I went over to White Mountain Knives and purchased it because I think they had it for about 90. But with a 10% discount code, that was pretty close to 81, somewhere around there. So yeah, it worked out. I do like it. Like I said, it's quite light for just how much blade and everything you actually get in this. It's pretty impressive. They also sent me a concept that I wanted to get, which is the Bevy. It's a little slip joint guy. Unfortunately, the one that I purchased is supposed to be in marble carbon fiber and S35VN, and I got the standard G10 one with 154 cm. So I got to contact him a little bit later today, see if there's something I can do to work that out or whatnot. Yeah, I don't have any other concept knives, so it's not like I could really try to swap it out or anything. So, yeah, well, this was fun. I do have the other long-term cutting video of this that'll probably go up just as an extra video during the evening. There's not a huge amount of content in those. It's just a whole lot of cutting rope. So, it's there for posterity, but I certainly don't expect it to get very many views. So, alrighty. As always, I appreciate y'all. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. And subscribe. Well, I figured I'd do a quick update here because I had a little bit more information. So, this guy, as I had mentioned in the last one, yard work, does things to nails, whatever, it is a thing. This guy that I had mentioned did 2,490 cuts, which is a whole lot. It probably should have been a little bit lower than that. Something that I did realize a little bit afterwards is that the Post-it note paper that I was kind of using for some of it, which, was just different crap here that I was using for, initially labeling some kitchen knife boxes and whatnot. A little bit easier to slice than your standard paper. This is a little thinner, whatnot. A little thinner, I guess. Doesn't feel much, but it does actually snag a little bit more. I have resharpened this guy, and perplexingly, it was very easy to do so. I was expecting a massive struggle with it, and didn't really have so much of one. It sharpened about as easily as, D2 or something like that. Both with the belts as well as with the diamond stones afterwards to actually get a V-shape edge rather than convex. Which, makes, having that V-shape is, makes the structure of the knife a little bit less, so the edge retention won't quite be there, but the slicing is just unparalleled. It's much better, especially for doing stuff like cutting rope. So yeah, this thing probably should have done a little bit less. That being said, I didn't even start cutting into the Post-it note stuff until, after 1,000 to 1,200 cuts or something like that. So, it's still quite valid. But, I have resharpened this guy to a 15-degree edge. And, super nice and sharp. And eventually I will come back to that and kind of redo a whole cut test. And probably at that point try to average both of them out to see. This thing was probably somewhere around 16 to 17 degrees, so I didn't really change the edge profile on that too much, but it is different. So yeah, I will get back to that. But if it's going to last anything like the last time, I want to get through some other stuff first. So that's going to be set aside for a while. Besides, I accidentally almost recycled this thing the other day. It fell into my recycling bag along with some cans and whatnot, and because, titanium and whatnot is fairly light, I didn't notice that, and then couldn't find it when I was going to do some more cut testing and searched around, and found it at the bottom of my recycling receptacle. So that would have been pretty sad if I got rid of it, but I was far from actually getting rid of that receptacle, so whatever. Anyway, since I recorded the last thing though, I did finish up this guy, the TwoSun in 12C27. And this one actually did pretty darn well as well. Now, this never touched any Post-it note stuff at all. It was just pretty much all standard cheap-ass printer paper. But yeah, I got 370 cuts out of that, which is damn good. A lot better than a lot of other, well, not a lot, but the other 12C27 knives that I've tested, which have gotten around 220, 240, somewhere right around there. So yeah, they certainly do a pretty darn good job with their steel there. You know, this one's an interesting knife. It has a whole bunch of belly to it, which is super easy for selecting wherever the heck I want to actually use the edge for doing rope cutting stuff. And this is the supremely cheap version. The initial version was titanium, I think maybe some carbon fiber inlays and S110V, but this is a liner lock with their questionable quality of micarta and 12C27. You will see a whole bunch of these guys for sale now, and almost all of them are in D2, which if I had my choice, I probably would have chosen that, but this one was one of the first few that they released like this, and it was in 12C27, so it was a different steel. But yeah, still holding up pretty darn good. That means I'm going to be doing the Nitro V here. So yeah. And I do think somebody did ask me a while ago if I could do a cut test of the TS261. That's a very thin Tonto blade, and very, very straight and whatnot. And actually cutting rope is very, very difficult to end up doing with that. And I have to basically pull this to the end of the table, try to get all of that sort of stuff really angled, and it actually isn't quite ergonomic for your hand to be able to try to get flat down on a cutting board with something like that. So yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to do that, especially not with rope and whatnot. I had mentioned that I'm going to plan on trying to figure out something like that to do with cardboard, which is, a much easier way to cut something vertically in the air rather than down on a surface. And that could probably do a pretty good job there, as long as I actually get some sort of testing methodology that I'm actually happy with. But yeah, so there's that. But what I will say is that TwoSun's 14C28N and D2 are pretty darn consistent with all the different testing that I've ended up doing. And their day 2 is pretty darn good. So I'm pretty sure your TS261 is doing mighty fine with the D2 on there. I've done a couple of cut tests. One of them did, almost 1,000 cuts. It was ridiculous. That was on the heels of one of their 14C28Ns that did like 730. So yeah, they do a pretty darn good job with their heat treat on that stuff. It's just mostly the higher end particle steels like S110V, S90V, M390 that is kind of a little bit more of a gamble on if it's going to do all right. But their standard budget steels just do a fantastic job. So I'm pretty sure you're good with that. All right. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Try to compile this video together and start doing some Nitro V cutting. So, all right. Appreciate y'all for watching. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, yo.